guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? Out on my walk. I'll do some walk rants. This time I want to give kudos to what I learned from kudos to Joe Holden from Temecula, Calvary Chapel, Temecula, for what he taught me for the couple years I went to church there. This is a tribute to him. I'm gonna show that I was listening and say what points I liked and didn't or whatever. I'm gonna give him some credit. All right, so this is for I almost said doctor. Joe Holden, pastor of Temecula Chapel. What's it called again? Calvary Chapel, Temecula. So one of the things I liked the most about what he taught was that there were 3 years in Jesus' ministry, and each one had a different attitude about him. The first year was his year of obscurity. People didn't know who he was. Who's this Jesus dude? Second year was this year of popularity. People were like, wow, he can do miracles. He can do anything. He calms the seas. He walks on water. Third year was year of opposition. People knew who he was, but didn't like him anymore. They turned against him. People were like, stone him. He has committed blasphemy. And I like that he showed that. He showed that pattern in Jesus' ministry, which in my own life, I appreciate his example, that he stuck it with it, even when he was opposed. He didn't throw in the towel when he was opposed, and he stuck with his game and still did him. Okay, that's that point. The other point I like that Joe Holden made, he said, let me think here. He said that, let me think about what point I want to say. He said Christianity is the only religion where you don't have to do anything. And I appreciate that sentiment. We can't save ourselves in Christianity. In other words, it's not up to us to make us save a bull, maybe, I appreciate that point. Every other religion is just what you do. You get what you deserve and you have to do it. Well, Christianity, not so much. Jesus did it for us, so it's the only religion where you don't have to do anything. I can argue that point, but I'll leave it at that. Another point he made a point that when the New Jerusalem comes down from heaven in Revelation, it's going to be a square. Well, actually a cube. He kept saying square, but it's actually a cube. He likes the square shape of the New Jerusalem. It's going to be like a cube. It's not going to be anything fancy like a dodecahedron or some kind of weird pyramid. It's going to be a six-sided cube, like a dice. Six-sided a cube. He seemed to like that. It represented justice and the rightness of God or something like that to him. So there's that. What else did he say? I'm on the gun here. Let me think. He said, I can think of a few, but I want to make, let me think here. He said that in the book of Esther, I think it was Esther. Oh, I know what I was going to say now. They found some scrolls. He talked about the maps, M-A-P-S. Those are the ways of knowing the Bible's true. First of all, M for manuscripts, A for archaeology, P for what's P? Archaeology, maps, archaeology, manuscripts, archaeology, and PB. Not archaeology, not manuscripts, but prophecy. Yes. Dude, I almost forgot that. Maps is manuscripts, archaeology. So manuscripts is scripts, writings that hold true, or or proven true, or whatever. Archaeology is things they've dug up or found, physical things. P is prophecy, and S, I think, is science. Sometimes science even backs up the Bible. So that's what maps was. I almost forgot prophecy. I had to think about that really hard. Joe Holden made the point about science backing up the idea of the Bible. He said that there's something in science called the strong nuclear force. It's the force that holds the protons together in the nucleus of the atoms. And protons are all positive charged particles. They should all repel. Why do they all stay in the nucleus together? What keeps them together? And nobody knows why. Science doesn't really know, even though they call it the strong nuclear force. They don't really understand that force, and they don't really know where that force comes from. And Joe's point is that force might be God, that defies the electromagnetic tendency of positive charged particles to fly away from each other, where in fact in the nucleus of atoms, all these protons, along with neutrons, but protons are all huddled together and don't fly away from each other. We call it the strong nuclear force, but that could be God, according to Holden. Anything else I can think of that he said? Let me think here. What else did he say? Let me think here. He said this. He made this point. He said that once you get past and God created the heavens and the earth, all miracles are implied, or it's implied that all other miracles are doable by such force. If God can create heavens and earth, he can also do any miracles that are stated after that, because the creator of something can manipulate it however he or she wants. And that is implied by God. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, that God can also do miracles and do anything else he wants as well, except, of course, lie and things like that God can't do morally. But he can, or can't paradoxically make an object so heavy he can't lift it, but he can do anything within reason. Given the fact that if we take that he made the heavens and the earth, he can do everything else too. So there's that. He also made an interesting philosophical point. A lot of the time I thought was cool. He said, "Should implies can." So in other words, if you should do something, it implies you can do it. Otherwise, you shouldn't have to do it. It wouldn't be said that you should do something if you couldn't do it. Therefore, should implies can. And I think that's a cool argument. That's a cool philosophical argument that he made a lot of the time. He would always say that a lot. And I'm almost done here. I'm going to bow out here soon. No pun intended. Bow out. Anything else while I'm here? One more thing. Joe always said that Jesus took on the hardest case in the room, both to show, in part to show his compassion, and then he left no one stone unturned, but also to show the power of God. And in one room Jesus was in one time, there was a guy in the corner, I suppose, that had multiple demons. He was demon possessed by multiple demons, and Jesus didn't hang around with the other people and have coffee and tea with them while the guy was suffering over there in the corner with demons. He went straight to the guy with demons and cast them out. So he was able to do that, implying that he can handle everything else in the room as well. Because if he takes on the hardest case in the room, he can also do all the others as well. It shows the power of God more. Jesus would always do that, and I kind of think that's cool. That not only that Joe brought that out, but that's cool that Jesus did that, assuming the Bible's true, of course, but that he would go to the hard case in the room first and then worry about everybody else. I think that's cool. And Joe brought that point out, So anyway, just showing that I did listen to church when I went. I didn't just go there and be on my phone or go there and listen to my headphones or something like that. I actually went there and listened. So I love you guys. Peace, love, and rock.